Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to That Local Life podcast. I'm your host, Sydney. This is Tyler.
Hello, everybody.
And this is Angela.
And this is Angela. Angela is episode 20.
20.
We are on episode 20 already. Can't believe it. Angela, thank you so much for being on. How long have you been in the community? Where did all this start? Did you always live here?
Since I was 13, yeah.
Really?
I lived here since I was 13.
Where'd you
That's
grow
awesome.
I grew up in Big Bear Lake, California.
Oh, I love Big
Up in the
Bear.
mountains, yeah. Skiing, hiking, all the above.
Oh, I'm
it was a
jealous.
great place.
Is it a small town or is it pretty big?
Back then it was a small town.
Resort
now it's
town.
Kind of
pretty big.
touristy,
Oh, yeah.
but
Kind of like McCall.
now
yeah.
it's huge.
But-
But I haven't been back.
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like now. I went.
I looked
several
on
years
Google
ago,
Earth.
but-
That was enough for me.
Yeah, you're like, looks good. I don't need to go
it
back.
really is. The house I grew up in's gone.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Aw.
I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah.
It's over.
What brought you here?
What brought you here?
Yeah.
What brought me here?
What brought you here? Yeah.
What brought you
I've
here?
lived here
The
all of my
stork.
life, so-
Yeah. Well, my father wanted to be a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
He'd been in the motel business for
Sure.
some time, and he'd bought a farm up here, and so he just packed us all up.
I was like, we're going to Nissa. You're like, where?
Yeah, where? Yeah, I'd spent a lot of time in Nessa too. So
That's awesome.
I work at the senior center.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see, I did the last concert, and I actually got up and played a song with the band. So
Oh,
I
that's
keep
cool.
moving.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
kind of fun. But the mic wasn't close enough, so everybody said,
Oh.
do it again. And I said, no.
Dang it. Nope.
They're like, we can't hear you.
You get one and
Next
done. That's
month. Yeah,
Yeah.
they all had to remind me
it. That's funny.
my mic was close enough. Thank you very much.
Sure. So did you guys move to the Nissa area, Adrian? Like, where did you get? Where was the farm at? When you guys
The
moved
farm
here?
is in Kingman Colony,
Okay.
down in a place called Jackass Flats,
I do know where that's at.
down along
actually.
the river. Yeah,
Mhm.
most locals do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably where I don't know where it's at. I'm not a local.
Sometime Tyler can show you.
I will show you. Yeah, we haven't been out towards like the Watson area. yet.
No,
I'll have to
yeah.
take care
Heard
of that.
about Watson, but never been out that
But,
way.
I mean, it's kind of out in that realm.
Yeah.
But
No, it's just right up here.
yeah, well, it's
They called that the steep upgrade
Mhm.
up from the store back in 1910 because it was gravel and
Yeah.
they were
Okay.
trying to drain all the swamps out. And now they're all drained and farmed, but it's just down on the river.
yeah.
Very
yeah.
nice.
That's super cool. Awesome. So how long did the family fam last? Like, did you work on the farm? Like, what?
Oh yeah, I had to
Uh-huh.
milk cows,
Ugh,
Did you
gross.
love it?
do fields. No, I got kicked right in the chin by one once.
Oh,
I mean, it was
no.
back when
Jeez.
you had to move between them.
Yeah.
And you're always watching them, and you had
Mhm.
the cant kicks and the surcingle, and
Ouch.
yeah,
No fun.
You're like, I'm done for the day.
I'm done with that. Yeah,
That's funny. So
it's
where
not
did
fun
you
work.
where'd you go from there? Did you go to school? Did you go to college? Did you go to? Did you just started working?
Well, I was married then.
Okay.
We had my daughter Tanya, and I've just kind of lived in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college. I got my bachelor's degree from Eastern Oregon University.
Very
Okay.
cool.
In the Grand.
In La Grande, yeah. I've been an airbrush artist. I've sold life insurance and securities.
They've done a number of things.
Been a
Yeah.
mom. I've done all kinds of things.
That's pretty neat.
And I'm a world famous artist, but nobody
Whoa.
knows about me. So there you go.
Well, now everybody is
That
going to
is
know.
Awesome. Yes. Everybody local anyway, for
Yeah,
sure.
the local people.
Yeah,
they're the
that
best.
is. So, what was your favorite thing to do while you
I
were
will-
coming up with all your jobs? And
Gosh, I think I liked all of them. Oh, I also worked as a
Mhm.
library in Nessa for a
Mm.
year and a half.
Oh, very
out of
cool.
college.
yeah,
But I think I enjoyed about everything I did.
really.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Not a lot of people can say that, so that's
Yeah.
pretty special.
Yeah, it's a jack of all trades thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then I decided not long ago to write these books because
Mhm.
I was reading, I won't say the name of the author, but it's one who's put out a lot of books.
Mm-hmm.
And they become very ordinary and uninteresting because
Yeah.
I think they follow a serial thing and it's the same all the time.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to write something unusual and very unusual and
Mhm.
and interesting to people that they'd never read before.
Sure.
And so I got the idea for these books.
Mhm.
The first one,
The dance. You got a dance of
A
light.
Dance
and
of
then
Light.
The Valley of Caves.
yes, and it takes place in our area. That's the backdrop.
That is
I-
awesome.
I recognize the river.
Yeah, and
That's
I
cool.
say I call it a metaphysical dystopian adventure based on true life experiences. And, of course, some of it I just made up.
Sure.
To make it work, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a mouthful right there.
Uh-huh.
And most people just go, what does that mean? So
Yes, please. What does that mean?
dystopian is in the future, which unfortunately seems to be now. I started writing this book 20 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
Metaphysical, there is a lot of intuitive, psychic stuff. There are healers. There are crazy, wild characters. Let me just see. Oh, well, okay. So 20 years ago, this virus thing and the vaccine was predicted by a gifted healer that I knew at that time.
Interesting.
And her name was Karen Land, and a lot of people do remember her. So back 20 years ago, I started writing the book. That was the premise for the whole thing, even though I know there's a lot of plague books out there and things
Sure.
like that. But this was more like, this is going to happen.
Interesting.
Only 3 years ago, I got really serious about doing it and started writing the books.
Okay.
So
Was it one right after another when you wrote these books? Did you write one and then just jumped into the next one?
yeah, each one took a year.
Oh, okay.
So let me see.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, take your time.
Yes. I think when I started, I have authors that inspired me, and one was Sarah Gruen, and she wrote Water for Elephants.
Okay.
And I was watching an interview with her and how she gets in the mood to write her book. And she has 3 kids. So she actually goes into a closet and focuses on all her books and characters. Yeah. And then she can come out and write, which fortunately I did not have 3 children.
Sure.
So you could just sit in your house.
So I was in my house or on a walk or whatever, and these people just came alive in my head. And I constantly lived with them.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to get out and do anything else. So they're all individual personalities. The men are strong men, and the women have leadership roles.
Sure.
It's good for either men or women to
That's
read.
awesome.
It's enjoyable.
That's cool. Where can we find these books for people?
You can find these books on Amazon.com,
Okay.
and I write under A.M. Harris.
Okay.
I thought that, I know there's like 100 Angela Harrises on Facebook, so I thought that would be easier, and I found out there are also 2 other A.M. Harris authors. One is a black woman and one is a man, and they like to stick my books in their categories, so I have to go in and pull that all out.
Oh my
and
gosh,
fix it
you're like,
every
nah,
time.
that's not me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh.
Another author I liked was Jan Martel, and he wrote The Life of Pi,
Yeah.
which is very creative
It is. very
and
cool.
inspiring and all. And then Craig Johnson is also a favorite, and he writes the Longmire series. And I like to say, read his books.
Sure.
Don't just watch it on TV,
Yeah.
because his books are completely different, and he has these amazing spiritual experiences with the Indians when he's trapped in a blizzard and the ghosts come in and help him get out. And it's a whole different thing to
Yeah.
read the books.
Huh. What? So, like, all of a sudden one day you just woke up and decided you wanted to write a book? Like, what? How did that happen? How did that come around?
Well, like 20 years ago, I decided I wanted to write it, but
Okay.
then life gets in your way,
Of course.
and things
Yeah.
happen, and I don't do it. And then, like, I saw the Sarah McGruin interview, and I'm like, well, I can do this.
You're
Yeah.
like, I just need to do it.
Certainly.
Why did you want to write a book?
Because I have all these crazy experiences and things, and intuitive experiences, and I was working also as a medium and life regression hypnosis
Okay.
to get down to people's
Triggers and such.
more
Well,
than
it's-
triggers, like their ancestral
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
experiences
okay.
that we carry through with cell memory.
Okay.
Like you carry the memories of your mother from when you were in the womb, and her grandmother, and it goes on and on. And so I was able to take people into their past experiences, into their ancestors, and get to the basis of why they were having the problems they were having now.
Wow.
Some people just wanted to meet up with a loved one.
Yeah.
And so we would start talking about things, and pretty soon the loved one would be there. I had one gal who I was speaking at a funeral, and she walked up to me afterwards and she just said, I really need to make an appointment with you to talk to my father.
Sure.
And there he was, right beside me.
Mm.
And it's not like it looks on TV.
Right.
It's, you see it in here, as well as being aware of
Like the presence.
their presence. Yeah, exactly.
I've heard of some crazy stories with mediums, so that's really cool.
Yeah, it was very real, though. And I described to her what he was wearing, and she goes,
Yeah.
oh, my God, that's my dad. And then he told me to give her a noogie. So I gave her a noogie, and she goes, oh, my God, he would always do that. And
That's
I said,
so
well,
funny.
he's here.
Yeah.
And the energy is so beautiful, so blissful. It just overcomes you, and you want to stay in that.
That's cool.
And that's where they are.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's the God light, the God energy.
Do you still do medium work?
I've been going through a grieving period since my husband passed, and that, of course, lowers your energy.
Sure.
But I was talking with a really delightful man up at Dunkley's Music. Well, I was told by one of the band members to have a song the next time I came to the dance. He's given me a month to learn a song.
Yeah.
So I had to go buy a guitar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we were really clicking, and he is very high energy, very good energy. And he was admitted to me that he missed his mother a lot. And there over your shoulder there, Tyler,
Yeah.
a portal began to open. It was,
That's crazy.
shaped like
Yeah.
this.
Sure.
Anyway, and so that was her letting him know that she was indeed there, and he was so happy to hear that.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
So it's really up to them whether or not they're going to come
kind of
through
energy
me,
brings.
Yeah.
and what kind of emotional state I'm in,
Yeah.
which hasn't been as high as it could be lately.
Hmm.
But I'm working through it.
Yeah, of
It's a
course.
process.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally a
I'm
process.
sorry for your loss. No.
Thank you.
That's really cool, though, with all of your experiences that you decided to write about them. A lot of people just have them and don't do anything with it. They
Oh, yeah.
they have these
Yeah.
thoughts, they think these things, but they don't actually put it out there.
They
So that's really cool.
They say everybody has at least one book inside them, and this is meant to be a trilogy.
So there's more to come?
Oh, yeah, there's big cliffhangers in book 2.
That's
at the
awesome.
end, just big cliffhangers. They don't know
Nice.
what's going on. But I created a world with no technology because that's where this virus came from. That's what killed everyone. And so I had to totally go in the closet and come up with a whole new culture, a way of living, a government system that everyone participated in. No one was left out. Of course, it's a small group, it's a small
Sure.
village.
I'll have to give them a read.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
I used to
was
read
just
those
thinking.
types of books all the time growing up when I was in high school. I read a lot, and a lot of it had to do with like post-apocalyptic world. It had a lot to do with angels. It had a lot to do with I'm missing archangels and stuff like that.
Oh,
I like reading a
awesome.
lot about that type of stuff. So that's
Yeah, I
pretty
used to do a little radio show, and I would do readings back in the 90s for people.
That's cool.
Just come on.
Mhm.
But there's no zombies in there.
Yeah, like the ones I've read were like natural disasters that happened or fires or something that
There's-
came and destroyed things. Like
Yeah, there's no dragons, no
Yeah.
zombies.
Yeah.
It's just a group of people trying to make their way.
yeah, that's cool.
And the first book, I just did the pictures for the cover.
Mhm.
That's the first book. And that is an actual photograph I took while kayaking down the Snake River.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
the colors are so
Neat.
beautiful. And
Yeah,
I thought,
they are.
what else do I need?
Yeah.
And the Valley of the Caves takes place up in Leslie Gulch area.
Mhm. Oh, neat.
And so that made us take at least 3 trips up there to get the right pictures.
Yeah.
It was
That's cool.
exhausting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the Leslie Gulch.
We
area.
had
It's
so much
gorgeous.
fun. Yeah.
It is gorgeous out there. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing those experiences with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So are you working on another book currently?
I had it pretty much outlined and ready to go
Mhm.
when my husband passed.
Mm.
And
So
that
now
was
it's just kind of getting back in the routine
so
of
I
things.
just got to get back into
Yeah.
it, and it was exciting coming down here to do this.
Yeah.
that's really cool.
So-
We're
We're
super
glad to
happy
have
that
you.
you reached
Yeah.
out to us.
Yeah,
and
the
wanted
girls
to be
were
on.
like, she's super excited. She wants to be
Yeah.
on. We're like, of course.
Of
Yeah.
course. course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think the whole ending of the third book's going to change, though. It's going to be different.
Okay.
I have to kill off different people
What the
than I
heck?
had planned before. You know, you
Yeah.
always have that. You know, and they're like living out there in a farming community, and newcomers, occasional straggler comes
Sure.
along, and maybe he was schizophrenic and he's weird, but they don't understand him. Because I think that would be how it would happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not everyone goes. There's going to be people just traveling.
Come and goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
That's neat. I see here on the back of your book, you're a Reiki healer. What is that? Did I say that right?
well, Reiki. Yeah.
Reiki. Okay.
Reiki, basically, we work with the human energy system, the aura, and the meridians, and it's like a directed prayer.
Okay.
And you let God use your body to direct that healing energy and light to another person or even to a place. Like, I think we should all be sending light and prayers to Washington, D.C. right now, because that place is dark. It's very dark.
I agree with you there.
But I did healing that way for a while.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I like to say that all healing comes from God. And it's there is absolutely no evil in it at all. There's no evil in God. Not from my experiences.
That's awesome.
That's pretty neat.
It's a good way to look at life and the things you
And a lot of-
experience and face.
Yes, a lot of people question that.
They do.
I'm like,
I do.
nope, it's all from God.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I see you have some notes here and stuff. Like,
I
and
do
we're just
have
trying to go
some
down those notes.
And I think we've covered a lot of it.
I think what I see there is about the book, but I think we kind of dived into it quite a bit about the book, don't you think? Or do you have more to share?
Yeah.
What's the title of the next book going to be?
Cry from the Mountains.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that title.
It's very intriguing.
That's a good title.
Yeah, there is a myth in the first book about a city to the west, and people who have disappeared trying to find that city, and it's actually, well, I can't say too much,
That's okay.
but
That's really cool. So
I'd say there's lots of horses in it.
I love
Obviously,
horses.
They
She likes
don't do
horses.
cars.
You got me.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you don't have
yeah.
technology world, so that's kind of neat.
I've always
Yeah.
wanted to be a cowgirl, so.
Yeah.
I was for 45 years, so I can relate a lot of the experiences and the actual mechanics
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all of that.
That's awesome.
So-
My editor was looking through one book, and I had a scene where one of the key characters, her name is Anela, and she's kind of an Amazon woman. And anyway, her mother is in trouble, and they have to go down this escarpment to get to where they are. They're being attacked by the antagonist, which of course you must have. And my editor read that and said, well, at first you're up here by the wagon, and then you're down there. How did you get there? And I'm like, oh. So I actually had my husband act out how a horse would go down a very steep escarpment.
Yeah.
And so I could get it, you know,
Get a picture
blow by
of how
blow
to do
there.
yeah. That's funny.
That's really
Which was a
cool.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
was a
neat.
good technical advisor.
That's funny.
So,
That's awesome.
That's really cool. So, like, for someone like me who doesn't understand much of the medium or the Reiki healer stuff, or like, you know, the kind of things that kind of brought you to write these books, can you kind of give me a higher education, if you will, of like how did you come to know that you were
A
Reiki
medium.
healer, medium, or like how does that work?
It was a path of acceptance.
Okay.
See, a lot of people have those things happen, like they know who's on the telephone before they pick it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
You and your friend are thinking the same thing, and then you both say it. That's your sixth sense. That's your intuition.
Interesting.
So basically, I remember seeing little souls above the dining room table when people were eating there because they came to share. They wanted to be part of that. When I was 1 year old, I remember walking along the Pacific Ocean, and I wanted, you know, like a 1 year old would be, I wanted to get in that water. And I could hear the angels laughing in my mind, and they're just going, oh, she's so cute, she's so cute. And then they said, no, you can't do that, not till you're 11. You can't go swimming till you're 11. And I remembered that, but I didn't know how old I was at the time. And then my mom was getting out pictures, and the dates were on there, and I was 1 year old.
Wow.
So
That's crazy that you can remember all the way back to that.
Yeah.
Well, it was because they thought my brother had fallen into the ocean, so there was a crisis that occurred.
Oh.
And
See.
when those really bad things happen, it tends to embed a memory more in your mind.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
So that's why I think I remembered that one. Just things like that happened over the years. And then I met Karen Land, and it was a whole new adventure. And she just says, accept, and you'll get more of it. So basically, I just accepted. I went to workshops. I got more of it until I was actually seeing the spirits of people, or I could channel information from the divine.
Yeah.
Because I only work with the highest light.
Yeah.
Should
of
be
course.
God, the angels.
They say a lot of people
Beings.
kind of start, I mean, for those of you who, because
Where
I
do
know
you-
some people don't like believe in that stuff.
No.
But
Where do you even
I-
go to like learn that type of stuff?
You don't really, from what I've heard, because I know that people, you can, like a lot of kids can see spirits and stuff,
Mhm.
but a lot of kids are told that they can't or it's not real, so they just kind of close off their mind. And once they close off their mind, like it's just not a thing anymore.
Interesting.
It's the programming we receive.
Yeah.
You come in very open.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you hold a little baby, you can
Mhm.
feel that energy,
Yeah.
that God energy coming through. And so as we are programmed throughout life, we learn to give that up, even to the point of art not being important. And that's the creative side. Religion teaches us that those things are evil. Sorry, all you churchgoers, I do go to church. But it's true.
Yeah.
That's where they get that.
Huh.
And so you close yourself off and close yourself off until you can't
Yeah.
reach those levels. But
Yeah.
the way to open up is to accept it
Interesting.
if you have some
Yeah.
kind of vision like that.
And being open-minded to it.
And being open that
Yeah.
it's real.
Mhm.
And you will get more and more.
Yeah. Because it's a lot of kids can, like when
How do
kids
you-
can see things.
And the
Yeah.
new kids, the new ones are coming in with those energies
Interesting.
to change
Yeah.
the course of the planet that we're
That's
on.
crazy.
How do you deal with the bad energies? Because I'm sure you get some of that just by natural cause in that line of work.
Yeah, sometimes that does happen. I've taken on energies. I clear it, and you clear it through prayer, through surrounding yourself with the God light.
Yeah.
You can put a golden energy all around you.
Interesting.
Some people smudge their houses.
What's smudging?
Smudging.
Like the sage.
The white sage,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
They'll go around and do that, just like the
Getting
Native,
rid of all,
like
like,
the
the
Native
bad
Americans
energy.
did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you
Uh-huh.
say prayers as you do that, you know.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
God, bring in your light and cleanse this area and protect your house with that and all those things, yeah.
Huh. I had no clue about any of this, so that's all.
I'm
super
into
neat.
this stuff, so I.
You're
like,
into it?
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
She's never talked about it, so I had zero clue. That's cool.
I have a great story about the bowling alley in Homedale.
Yeah, fire away. Let's hear it.
I don't know. I could be burned as a witch.
Nah.
But
It's okay.
you know, I
one's in Bernie.
watch the ES or the ghost shows on
Yeah.
TV,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, it's not like that. It's not like any of that.
Sure.
Like Ghost Whisperer. I always think of that one.
I know it just comes in your dream. Now it
Yeah.
comes if it wants to.
Yeah. You don't get to
Yeah.
pick and choose.
Yeah. Well, someone was working there at the time that I knew, and he's saying, knives are coming off the walls, and when I go down the steps, the broom comes off, and you know, like it's trying to attack me.
Sure.
And I said, well, let's look into this. And, I was going to say, if you want to experience a vortex, go to Chief Joseph's grave, just up there while I was there. That's
Wow.
a really good spot. There's high energy there.
Interesting.
And if you're sensitive to it, you can feel that. And you have to understand that that's what it is.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sometimes it will make people nauseous and faint. But then there's also one in Colorado at the Red Rock Canyon area in Colorado Springs.
Interesting.
So where was I? Okay. So I'm like, well, let me in there and we'll see. And I was with my sister-in-law who also, she's clairvoyant.
What's that?
It means she sees things
Kinda,
to
yeah.
Okay.
come. She can
Yeah.
see the future.
Oh, okay, okay.
And see
Yeah.
what's going on with people. There's clairaudient, where you just hear it. There's lots of different ones. So they go, it's in the basement. And
This
so,
is in the Homedale Bowling Alley?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe they're gone now. But so I just walk right in there because I'm not worried about it. My sister stops on the steps because she's getting sick to her stomach. It's so
Yeah.
strong. And but we work really well together. So I walked in back to where I could feel it the strongest. And I could sense an entity there, kind of bent over, huddled down like she'd been attacked or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, well, it's over here. And then I went back over and stood on the lower steps. And I think it's having Renee with me that makes it so clear. But then I could see her. And she was literally doing this with her arms, creating a grayish cloud of energy that was coming at me.
Mm.
And that's when Renee comes in and she says she's trying to keep the women out, and she attacks the men because she was attacked down there. So I just stood there.
Interesting.
Yeah. And she was trying to get me to leave.
Yeah.
And I just stood there looking at her, and this is what people aren't going to believe if they believe any of this. I don't care, because it's my experience. But I just started saying, I love you to her. I love you, I love you, I love you. And I felt my heart chakra grow, and I was just a beam of pink energy, which is love.
Yeah.
And it just grew. I mean, it was just like I lit up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to do that. And she left, and she's gone. And I guess they haven't had any problem with that
Oh, that's good.
since then, yeah.
That's
and so
solid.
then they go, there's somebody back behind the pin setters. And I go, all right, let's go. I'm up for this. Let's go. So we walked back there. And once again, my sister was key, and she knew. I figured they were at Alley 3, Pin Setter 3.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
And she goes, that's where they're coming in and out. And then there was another one that was being used for an interdimensional portal, I believe.
Mm.
But at that point, then I could see them. And one had a white T-shirt, one had a red T-shirt. It was two males, and they were happy. And they, they like had
The sleeves rolled
the
up.
cigarette
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
sleeves and
Yeah.
everything. And I was talking to them, and they go, ask them why they were there. And that's something else. If you see something, ask them,
Yeah.
who are you? Why are you here?
Interesting.
And they were just laughing. They said, oh, we just always hung out here, so we like to be here. And they're kind of like poltergeists, is what the owners told me.
Interesting.
And so I just said, okay, you guys should stay here. I'm not worried about
Do
you.
whatever, yeah.
As far as I know, they're still back. They're having a good time.
Huh. So when you hear the word poltergeist, it sounds very evil.
It
Now,
sounds
obviously
evil.
not all poltergeists are evil.
move things.
I see.
And that's what these guys were doing. They were moving pins around back there. They'd bring in a bunch of stuff for the bowling alley, and they'd come in to get it, and it would have been moved.
Sure.
They were just doing
Things
just
like that.
harmless things.
Yeah.
TV and the movie industry likes
To dramatize.
to paint
that.
horror and dramatize
Oh, for sure.
and scare people.
Yeah. Well, it scares me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't watch that type of stuff.
And they want us to be in fear.
Interesting. Well, this is cool. I'm learning all kinds of stuff today.
Yeah, but there's no fear to be there at all.
Fair enough. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's all love, and it's all just different dimensions. We're in
Yeah.
a third dimensional thing, and that's what gets me about the ghost stories.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in the body anymore.
Yeah.
They have no need of these things. Their
Sure.
aircraft aren't made of metal.
They can fly wherever they want.
They're light ships.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Orbs.
Yeah. and-
What other ghost stories do you have?
Oh,
Or is Homedale like your best one?
that's probably the best one.
Come on, you gotta have a good one. Another good one.
Well, there was a little house in Adrian a long time ago, and some new people had moved in, and the man who had lived there had died in his home.
Okay.
And I said, I bet I can tell you exactly where he died. And they're like, no, you can't. And so I just walked around through the house until I came to the daughter's bedroom and the bed, and I said, that's where he died. And they go, how did you know that? And I go, well, you can just feel that, sense
Yeah.
that energy there. And I said, why have you guys put your daughter's bed right over where he died? That can't be good.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
You're like, what's the logic behind this? Because I'm just curious.
Because they didn't know.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't know. They probably left it there. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
put my house over an Indian graveyard. I mean, that's just not right.
Yeah.
Or something
That'd be a little
like that.
sketchy, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for you, who's somebody who sees that stuff all the time. Somebody like me, I wouldn't know what
Sometimes
to look at. But
comes in and out. You don't really
Yeah.
have control over
Sure.
it. You just keep
People
it,
come to
keep
you when they come to you.
accepting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be there. And if,
Hmm.
like I did appointments in my house, and whatever they wanted was what's going to come through.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
That's really neat. Thank you
that's
for
cool.
sharing all that.
Yeah,
like, I
you're
hope our
welcome.
listeners get something out of that.
I love
mean,
hearing about stuff
yeah.
like that.
That's
People are
cool.
either open to it or they're not.
and they're not, and the ones who are open are afraid to say so.
Yeah.
Which,
oh, yeah.
Which
because,
is sad.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that
you
goes
get
back
looked
to
at.
why so many people. I mean, even if people feel this, they don't come out about it because
you get looked at
it's
pretty
just,
weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just like,
Well, I had a little gal come to my house, and she was just working cleaning the vents.
yeah.
And she just said, I think I can talk to you. I think you're like
Mhm.
one of us. I can't talk to anybody else about this stuff. And so we just got along great.
Yeah.
And we
Hmm.
talked about it.
interesting.
So,
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really neat.
yeah.
You were in the middle of telling us another ghost story.
Now, let me think if I can think of one.
She was telling us about the bed.
The bed. That was the bed.
That was the
Yeah.
bed. Okay.
Yeah, you want more, I know.
I want more.
I
Yeah.
told you the best
come on.
one.
We just need to have you on again, and you need to just like play
List out
back
all of
all
your
your
ghost stories. That'd be so cool.
And then we'll have you on for like
Well,
ghost stories.
for ghost stories, yeah, and I'll bring my sister down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
that'd be
fun.
fun.
I'm
That'd
all
be really
about
fun.
it. I am
There's
fully all about
excerpts
it.
from the books that
Hmm.
relate dreams I've had.
Okay.
And yeah, I can think of some pretty
Sure.
some stuff pretty
Okay.
people would think
awesome.
was pretty wild and out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever like take yourself to places like in order to find somebody? So like the Idaho Penitentiary, it's said to be haunted.
I
or
did
like
not. I did not feel much there.
okay.
That's
Or like there's
a dark
old
energy if you go up on death row
Mhm.
and where they were hanging.
you can feel the
people.
dark energy, like just being in there.
You can.
Yeah.
You can feel that.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure. And then there's the
Um,
old graveyard off of Old Fort Boise Road. There's like an old veterans graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go there at night.
Just to see what you could.
Yeah, and then we'd get all freaked out because we psych ourselves out, you know?
You don't have to go at night.
I know.
I was in the Yuma State Penitentiary.
Makes it scarier.
Down in Arizona, and it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
There's not an entity, so to speak, but energies you can feel.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Like just walking up
Human
to that place,
torment.
you feel like very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just the energy of human torment
Yeah.
comes out in those places, and it stays.
Gives you goosebumps. Makes your hair stand on end. That's how I get.
Well, not mine, but
Oh, but yeah, me.
You probably get
I just-
excited. yeah.
I know what that. Yeah, I get excited. Who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, me. I'm like.
Why are you still here?
Okay, I'll leave. Bye.
funny.
You just need more experience.
Yeah.
We'll go up to Chief Joseph's grave.
I'm
There
all
you
about
go.
this stuff. I
Yeah.
love this stuff. So is my mom. She loves it too. My dad.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bunch of goobers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandmother used to read tarot. Oh,
What
that's
is
like
that?
tarot are cards, fortune.
Oh.
You do
Yeah.
fortunes
Yeah.
with them. I don't
Okay.
do tarot cards.
Tarot cards.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother ball of wax, but she used to do it.
Yeah.
But I have one more I thought of. So my mom had Alzheimer's, and she was getting very disoriented, very frightened.
Mm.
And she would come down and walk down to my house. And one day she was telling me, I'm really worried about things. I don't know what's going on. And I've been hearing a lot from my sister and mother, who are both passed. And I told her, I says, if you're hearing it, you're hearing it. Just accept and believe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she goes, okay. And I turned around and looked. I have a long driveway, and I looked down at the end of the driveway. And there stood my Aunt Irene, my grandmother, and one of my mother's other sisters. and they were waving like this.
Aw.
Just to let me know, because I used to ask for a sign.
Yeah.
And I would feel cold air on the back
Yeah,
of my neck,
yeah.
and then I would hear something, and they were waving. And I'm just like, Mom, they're right here. And what was funny was they're all wearing white pantsuits. Well, I have a photograph of them all together.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing white pantsuits.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
that's
funny.
awesome.
I know.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Huh.
that was fun.
That is cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. So like switching gears a little bit here, not to get away from this stuff, but like, what else do you do? I know you said you worked at the Senior Citizen Center. Like, why there? Or what are you doing there?
I started working on their library there 3 years ago, just organizing and helping
Mhm.
out.
Okay.
I am a senior. So playing bingo.
Sure.
They have bingo on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and
Ooh,
now
that's
we
fun.
have country swing classes.
Oh, that's
on
cool.
Heck
Monday
yeah.
nights, and it's very well attended. The instructors are very good.
I need to go.
Swing dancing?
Yeah.
You guys should go. They've simplified the steps from when I
I
learned
totally
it.
would. I want to learn how to swing dance so bad. I kind of know, but
The
not
guy
really.
almost has to do nothing.
Perfect.
Yeah, you just kind of stand there and stay out of her way while she does that.
Yeah.
Swing dancing is fun too. I'd go to like the country bars and swing dance. I don't know what I'm doing, but if you're with somebody who does, then you're like, okay, this is fun.
I know. Oh, well,
Yeah.
the lessons go till February, so
That's
so you
awesome.
learn. Each person has their own step. There's no
Yeah.
hanging on to anything.
Yeah.
You just, they call it the Spider-Man grip. So you just like this. Where
Yeah,
you're
that
doing
way
your
you can do the
spins
turns and all
yeah.
that.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
It's so much fun.
Interesting. Yeah, it is. And
Good
we
for
have
you.
lots of other things going to be coming up
Okay.
as we get them organized.
That's
Sure.
awesome.
And we want it to be more of a community center,
Yeah.
so we're getting a lot of the younger folks in.
Do
Which is
they
great.
have like a Facebook page or something like that?
We
where
are
people
working
can-
on that.
Okay.
We are working on that.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because once you guys get
So
all
that'll
those
be up.
events and stuff up, you send them to us, and we can actually
Yeah, we'll
speak
make
about
posts
them
about
on
it.
our weekly podcast that we do.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
So-
we'll post about it on the store
yeah,
page too.
that too.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent.
yeah. Anyway, we can help get the word out there.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I think it's good for people to go do things like that.
Oh, yeah, and it's a great center. I
Yeah.
mean, we've got a huge dance area. We have plenty of tables.
That's
People rent it
awesome.
out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We can't use the kitchen, though, because of state requirements.
Mm.
I mean, other people can't unless you
Yeah.
have food handlers licenses, but that's a bunch of
Lame.
stuff.
Bunch of baloney, if you ask
Yeah.
me. But
Oh,
that's
and I
cool.
want to tell the men in the audience
Yeah.
that the male characters in this are all very strong, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah.
There's hunting scenes. I mean, there's
It's definitely a
some
book for everybody.
crazy stuff in there.
And
It's
what do
a
you mean
book
by
for everybody.
strong male?
Leadership.
Okay.
Not all of them are. I mean, because not everyone is.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah,
That's awesome.
a lot of horses, a lot of hunting.
We love horses.
Actual
I
things.
do like horses.
And you can probably tell where the scenes take place. Like
Uh-huh.
in the second book, they travel right through Adrian, and I left a little bit of the sign of the mirage because
That's
it's like
cool.
200 years from now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a little M sticking
That's
out of the
cool.
dirt that's
That's
blown
cool.
in from the fields.
Yeah.
And then
That's
they go
awesome.
out to Sucker Creek. And
Yeah.
Huh. That's
Very
so
cool.
cool.
We'll have to read them.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
will. I
it's
will
so
have
cool.
to read them. I do. I love reading.
Tammy has a couple copies down at the beauty shop in Adrian.
Okay.
And there's also a couple copies
coffee.
left at the Nrig coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
Mostly they've sold out, but
That's
Amazon
awesome. Yeah.
is a great
Cool.
place to do it. I have 5-star reviews,
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
and I'd love more reviews. That'd be
Yeah.
great.
We'll
Yeah.
give them a read and leave reviews after
Yeah.
we read them.
Yeah.
We'll do a little
Not
book
before.
club.
And plug your
We should.
show.
Honestly. we
Tyler and Sydney's book
Charlie
club.
and Sydney's book club reading. where
Yeah,
we
start it up.
we come on air and read Angela's books.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, I thought about doing that, but then I heard you already had a podcast set up, so
That's
I'm
okay.
just going to go down and do Tyler's.
More the merrier. Yeah. Well, this is great. I mean, it's an intro, right? I mean, you show the setup, see what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Learning a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have another
That'd be
segment.
fun.
Ghost stories.
And we've been trying to. Other people have been really wanting to start their own type of shows. So
Uh-huh.
we've been talking to them about like letting them use this studio to come in and to decorate how they need to and shoot the film, and we'll help them out.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to do,
you've
stuff
already
like
got
that.
it all going.
Yeah, we have the
Yeah.
Makes it easy.
space and the
So-
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
things, so might as well let people use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Good deal.
Yeah, so because we do a lot of these interviews, and we're only
Mhm.
going to get more, and the more we can get the word out there for other people, the better.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
Come down and do a podcast.
heck yeah! Come
It's
down and do a
fun.
podcast.
You're not cool unless you've been on the pod.
That's funny.
Where the cool people hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else there in your notes? I need to reorder the camera.
I have a description of the Valley of the Caves
Let's hear it.
that I just put out. The Valley of the Caves continues the saga of Jalen, a shaman with metaphysical gifts, who you meet in the first book. She's devoted to her people and bound by the laws of the ancients, which are strict. Her life takes a perilous turn as the villagers are confronted with new dangers from the Steck people after losing their home and surviving a long and arduous winter on the prairie. And of course, the Steck people are the adversaries. They're the ones who roam along and pillage and
Sure.
Yeah.
as you probably would have. Her beloved Tokos launches a dangerous rescue into Steck country, and can he save her in time?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the Stecks are really, they're dark. Filled with characters bound only by the imagination, the Valley of the Caves is filled with riveting adventure, heartfelt romance, and page-turning excitement. The characters and the relationships are exquisitely portrayed as they have adventures, experience love and loss, deceit, and death. And I like to say is soft romance. I go more with feelings and attractions than
Interesting.
word things.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
very
a lot
cool.
of people
Cool.
like that.
Yeah.
It gives me
because-
something to read. I'm not a big reader, but I'll read your books for you.
Okay. Well, to me, that's what love is all about. It's not like what's on TV.
Yeah, no.
I just
agree.
like when I'm reading, it has to be in a pitch quiet room. Like if there's anything going on, I get distracted and I'm reading, but then I'm like, I don't know what I just read.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
She's
just don't
definitely ADD or ADHD to a T.
ADHD.
for
All of
sure.
the above.
Yeah.
She's just.
Well, there are herbs that can help with that.
Yeah, I probably need them. I need all the herbs.
I spent a lot of time studying herbs and herbal healing too.
Really?
I've done a lot of stuff. That used to be all I grow in my yard.
Yeah.
I need all the help I can get.
Well, that's cool. Like, what does that take, and like, what kind of herbs do you use?
Oh, I use valerian right now.
Is it like valerian root?
Valerian root is the best, yeah. And
I have heard of that.
Helps with nervousness
Yeah.
and sleep problems.
I've actually
That's
heard
what
of
you need.
And there's
Not too nervous,
red
though.
clover, cleanses the blood. Dandelion for the liver.
I have heard that.
Yeah,
that. Interesting.
there's a lot of good ones out there, and there's a lot of good books on it.
Okay. I'll have
Interesting.
to dive into that a little bit. Might help with
Yeah.
your headaches.
It's true. It might.
Have you
Just-
tried massage?
We're going to get a chiropractor appointment
Yeah,
today.
going to the chiropractor.
Okay.
but-
Helps realign everything any first, and then
I got a massage a few months ago, and like it helped, but I think I need more frequent.
Yeah,
'Cause it
probably
kinda
more
just-
frequent, and before you go to the chiropractor, so you're
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
good.
I am 26 with a much older body, so.
No, you're not. You're fine. I'm way older than that. In body years here. Goodness.
I've
that's
been
funny.
told I have a young spirit in an old body. And I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, that works.
You're like, I'll take it.
Yeah, that 18, 20, 29-year-old, she's still in there.
That's good. I mean, that's what they say is they always keep the old person out of their mind. Like when they're
Mhm.
growing up, when you're getting older, they're like, the longer you can keep that person out of you, the better.
The more youthful
the more
you are.
youthful you'll feel, the more alive you feel.
Keep a little
So
crazy intact.
I'm gonna stay
Yes, we
26
love a little
forever.
crazy.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Well, I'm a little crazy.
that's all right.
Aren't we
We
all?
like crazy.
They say Angela with a halo on the side. Sometimes it's a throwing star. You know, whatever you need.
You never know what you're gonna get.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Totally true.
Angela, do you have anything else that you want to share with us? I know you had put some stuff together besides
your
your
big
notes
question.
here.
think
I will
we-
ask my big question. I just want to
think
make sure she's
We covered a lot of it.
okay.
I could say, give my book a try.
Absolutely.
Put away all your preconceived beliefs before you read it.
Okay, fair enough.
It is based on a lot of actual experiences that I have had.
Okay.
Go into it with an open mind.
Yes.
Open mind,
Amazon.
open heart.
Tammy's. You said you can get it at.
Tammy Cleavers.
Tammy Cleavers.
Yep, the hair
She has a couple
salon.
copies
Yeah.
left, and they have a couple left in Thunder Egg Coffee House.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
mostly go on Amazon.com, put in the entire title of the name plus A.M. Harris,
Okay.
because there's 8 million books on Amazon.
Yes, there is. There's a lot.
It's very hard to find.
You want to make sure you get the right one.
anything. You want to get the right thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I have
Perfect.
one big question before we end this thing.
Okay, should I hide?
No, you probably should.
I would run now.
That's okay.
Just kidding.
What is the one big impact that you want to have on the community? If you could choose one thing, what would it be?
On our community,
Communities in general, like
say get out there, be part of your community, take action. Don't sit at home complaining about the way things are going. It starts at home.
Okay.
Change starts at home,
Yeah.
and it starts with one being.
Very true.
So don't be afraid. Just say yes, and that's what I've been doing. Just saying yes.
Be the change you want to see in your community.
Yeah, be the change you want to see.
that is very powerful.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing, Angela.
We
Thank you
love
for
it.
being
You're
on.
welcome.
Guys, check
Yes.
out Angela Harris.
Thanks for having me.
Her
She's-
books and her ghost stories. Tune in
Yes.
for a future episode on ghost
Absolutely.
stories.
Yes,
Maybe
episode
I'll read
20.
some experts.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Excerpts. Sorry, not experts.
Excerpts.
All of
That's
the
okay.
above.
As always, everybody,
Keep it local.
keep it local.
Yep.